What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers, continuing our work on the glitch ship project from Starbound. When we left off, we kind of got the basic shape going, ish, sort of, kind of. So I think what I'm gonna do here is, I'm not sure if we're really done with this or not, though. I kind of connected it and finished it off. I'm not sure if that's all there is to it or not. I think so. I think the rest is all just going to be detail. So what I think I'm going to do is just copy this, just clone it. Oops. Oops. No, we don't want you floating away. So make sure your mouse isn't moving. There we go. And the reason is, that way I can keep the kind of outline design without messing up the... If I make a mistake or something, I might just build this in stages as I go, and then just go back and delete the frames that I don't need. Alright, so now the next step. This is where it's going to get a little creative as far as making it up as we go. Because essentially, that's how Starbound does it, is 2D. So we've got to take this and make it 3D, which... yeah. It's probably going to be about as difficult as it sounds. At least for me. Some people, I've met some people that could probably just be done with this in 10 minutes, but for moi, it'll probably be a little bit of work. So the hardest part for me is finding a spot to start. I think we need to start on these back engines here. So let's say... I don't know how big these are supposed to be, so let's say... okay, let's use this as a guide. Like we said, we've got this back here if we mess it up. So let's say, because this part's supposed to be curved around this edge, right? So we'll put a block there, and one like this, and we'll start kind of making this circular, although... that could be a problem. You know what? Just because this is kind of up to me, as far as this doesn't play into how the two-dimensional shape is, this is just how we see it, I'm just going to run an edge here, I think. That doesn't really give us enough room, though, so what we'll need to do is remove that and build this out a bit more. So let's... I keep saying that. It's because I keep not knowing where to go. So let's say that this is the inner wall, right? So let's bring this out a bit. And we're going to want to add the little... I think there's actually a name for these on a castle, where they stick up. How many is here? Because they're probably supposed to be curved, to be honest. Like a... well, now hold on a minute. We might be able to do that. Maybe. Possibly. If we did something... I don't like that as much. Yeah. Hakum's razor. Simplest solution is usually the best one. Or the correct one, I believe, is actually how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we need it to be exact, so let's just close this here and say this is the engine. Thruster, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. Right? Right. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Oops. Nope. Take that away. So what we're going to do here is this is going to end up being... I don't think you can use ladders for small ships, can you? So this is one of those I said it probably should have been a large ship. Yeah, ladder's not available. Dang it. Alright, well. Okay, what we're gonna do then is fill this in, place, let's do, Alright, so here's my problem I have. I want to use these turrets, or missiles, right? I want to use these guys. I would like them to rotate, which requires a motor. Or rotor. Oh, they changed that. That was part of the new patch. Yep, totally forgot. But the way rotors work is if I put a guy here and then put a missile here, if it would let me do that, which it's not appearing to do so. Come on. I don't know why these blocks that are multi-block always want to put like the middle. It's like, I want the back part. Whatever. Actually, I'm not sure if that might blow up. Let's take it up by one. Because that might blow up in our face. The problem here is that if I were to take a cockpit and place it, right? This isn't really gonna work. Like, see, if I'm pressing 1 to select, there's no missiles to select, because the way that it's currently set up, and again, I'm not the developer, but it's kind of irritating, is that anything off of this rotor is considered like a separate ship, almost. So that means I would have to put a cockpit along here. Now, if my memory serves, if I were to do that, however, then I would not be able to access the motor and turn it. Now, one thing that I did think of, though, let me try something. If you put a gyro on this, right? And maybe, where did the power unit go? We're not to thrusters yet, so we can move those. So if we put a gyro there, a power unit there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm happy. Now we're happy. So you could have gunners. Okay. Alright. I can work with this. That's how we'll do it. That's how we'll spin it. Alright, I don't like this design though. We're gonna change this. But that was for testing purposes. Did I just delete something? I did. Go me. Alright, so that's the key with rotors now, is if it's on a small ship or a separate, you know, it's like a turret, put a gyro on whatever is attached to it, and then it will be able to float. Now, unfortunately, I have a middle block, but I don't think I have a middle block here. We have 5 that way, and 6 that way, I guess. Oh wait, no, 5 that way. Oh. Huh, how do you like that? Plopped it down right in the middle. Alright. I'm not really sure how I want to do that. Although, hold on, let me look at my image. I'm not sure that they actually swivel. I just wanted them to swivel for me. But they kind of look more mounted, actually. Like, well, they kind of do look like they could move, but in the game they don't move. So since these are like smaller fighter type craft, maybe we'll make it to where it can't. I'm thinking. So let's make it... We're just going to place these as kind of an idea for dimensions. and we'll come back to that. But for now, let's kind of build this out. So we've got... Now this should actually be set in... Is this connected? It is connected. Alright, so we're going to take this in by 1 so that we get a nice beveled shape a la castle. Like a castle should be. Like that. I like that. Me likey. I'm actually not too unhappy with this so far. Normally I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, it doesn't really look that good, but this is actually not doing bad. Oh, hold on. What did I do here? I wonder if that should look that way, or if... what I'm contemplating right now is whether or not the slope should be right there or not. Here, let's turn our lights on so I can see. No, I don't think so, because this, again, this is actually... I thought it was going to be a lot easier than this to build this, but it's actually pretty difficult. The reasoning is because A, Starbound is not done in the same dimensional capacity, if you will, that Space Engineers is. So it makes it difficult to gauge how things should look. No, I actually might have been right the first time. We might need to take this in by 1. Oh, well, I thought that was connected, though. It is connected. Why did that do that? Oh, that wasn't connected. Oh, lovely. This is why I am not a real engineer. Because I would make things go boom more than I build them. Alright, well, we need to fix that. Preferably without dislodging anything else. Okay. Here, let's get in here. So bad. Okay, why are you still busted? I repaired you. Get out of there. Okay, I think that's all the broken parts. I hope. There we go. All fixed. Now all fixed. So, what I'm thinking is we'll drop this down by 1 and then bring this in. Now, this may have the unintentional effect of changing the shape down here. I don't know. This part I kind of agree with. Alright, you know what we'll do? Is we'll take this down by 1 and then we'll just shorten this. Right? No. That... Oh, I know what I was gonna do. Nope, that kind of takes the whole thing in by 1. Dang it. Alright, well, whatever. Luckily, we got this other one right here to work with, so I can tell what I'm doing. Okay, so that... Come on, really? Really? 1 to 4, huh? Alright, I can build off of this, which is great, because that will let me... kind of fix what I'm doing here. Alright, now this should go back by 1. And like so. Along that lines. So now this can all go. Wait a minute. Crap. Well, I mean, it'll work out. It'll be fine. We can probably get rid of all this crap, though. Alright. So that's that. Now that we got that out of the way. My picture went away. Awesome. Come back here. Can't get away from me that easily. Alright, so then we'll take this out. And we'll curve this. Like so. So yeah, this is kind of gonna be a weird build, to be honest. Just because it's very not set in stone kind of thing. Like, I'm pretty much operating with my own eyes here, not like... Everything else that I've done so far has pretty much been 3D. This one is kind of the first that I'm trying to do something that's not 3D and make it 3D. So, it's probably not going to be perfect, probably not going to be super accurate. It's mostly just how I perceive it, as far as, like how I think something like this would look in 3D. So, I very well could be wrong. So, if you don't think it looks like it, don't jump all over me, because once we break a 2D game ship out of the 2D box, you're kind of in personal preference waters as far as if something looks right or if it just looks completely stupid. That's kind of in just your point of view thing. So I hope everyone agrees and thinks that it looks good. But one can never know these things for sure. So we'll build this out. I like this castle-y idea, though. It makes me want to build some kind of flying castle fortress or something, which would be cool. The big problem with, like, space station type builds, like, you know, I want to build a giant castle or something, is, alright, let's do a flyby. So from the side, does this look like the game? Yeah, I like it. I kind of like it. Oh, and I just remembered, I forgot to put this, image in the description last time. That's a my bad. Okay, here's a problem. Kind of. Is how do we do these thrusters? They look rounded. Which could be an issue, maybe. I think what I'll do, this is just spitball here. I think what I'm gonna do is come off of this, right? Drop down. And do like, not unlike what we've done before, where you do one of these numbers. Yeah, like that. And go out by a few, and then drop it down. How many is that, 2? Alright, so let's do a 2, 3, and see how that works. Oops, wrong button. Like this, drop down like this. Oh, that's not going to be nearly long enough, though. See, the thruster needs to end right about here, honestly. So let's drag ourselves a line out here. Or actually, better yet, let's draw it out to the middle of this, and then out like this. And then we'll draw one down. So that's our center point. Sort of. I did it from the ground, and I was one block off. Sue me. Alright, I'll just... Actually, we don't need this. Now that I think about it. There we go. Alright, so this will act as our center point for the thruster. Or no, not center point. That's where it needs to end. So, if that's where it needs to end, what if we did... just like... That's not very many, though, to make a curve. How would this look? Nope. Like that. Okay. So it's... It'll be covered up. I know that. At least to the exterior. I don't really like that, to be honest. So let's... see if we can trim this a little bit like that. What's that look like? That might be better. It's still pretty bad. Because this is wider. Again, this is the depth problem, that there's no depth in 2D, so you don't know how wide this is. So I've made this effectively wider than it probably should be for the ship. I mean, for the thruster. Because the thruster is now going to look really weird. Unless, what we could do... Let me look at this image again. We could just make a thruster off of the back here and make it in this section. Yeah. That's what we'll do to get around this. It's probably not how it's supposed to look, but it'll probably be the best I can make it look, given the constraints that I've kind of done here. We'll go up one. So, essentially, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, what I'm going to try... Where does this come out to? Okay, so I need a couple more here. What I'm going to try and do is basically something like this that will kind of go around the whole thing, maybe. I don't know if that'll work or not. Darn it. We'll play around. I don't have time to mess with it this time, but what I'm thinking is then do a circular shape, you know, like this kind of thing. Just spitballing here. This is not how it's going to look. But, you know, something like that to where it's squared here, but then there will be a circular thruster off of the back, is what I might do. Maybe. Depending on how I get it to work, or whatever. Or how it looks. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!